I think they've got another bout of something going on in China, but I think it just affects the kids. And of course, my heart always goes out to your great nephew. But what can I do? I think it's another variation. I'll send you a link. It's another type of that virus H or whatever. But I think it's just affecting the kids, and of course, in the colder parts up north. However, right, it's winter festival for the Chinese, so they all come down here. So I don't know. I think there's some influenza floating around now, even in warm Thailand. So I think I maybe it caught something, the last couple days here. But I just sent you that video. What's the? You still there, JV?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the background on the three-headed elephant? Is that more of a Hindi statue? Jay?
I'm here. Yeah, they stand on the toe. I'm a turtle.
Yeah, well, I sent you the video. That's the statue now. That's the big, well, not the big one. It's a statue in my area of the city where my school and where I'll be staying now. So that's I just sent you the video right above this. It's like the three-headed elephant, which is pretty popular throughout Hinduism, though, right? Isn't it more Hindu than Buddhist? Or I don't know. I haven't read up on it.
Like they said, sometimes they stand on a torch.
Oh,
Turtle.
okay. Now, did it? It's all just like you said, right? It's like any other big religion. It's all morphed and changed over time with bits of Hinduism, then creeping into Buddhism and mysticism, animalism, right?
What's that? You're saying Buddhism.
I'm saying how it's like like any other big popular old religion. It's morphed. It's changed over time to where right, and it's obviously crossed boundaries to where they some maybe some watts or some sects of Buddhism maybe appreciate or maybe give reverence, I should say, reverence to animals, animalism, right? So that's more of a Hinduism type of deal.
Say that again.
I'm saying how all these Watts, all these Buddhist Watts that I've visited over these years now, from Vietnam to Cambodia to Myanmar, Burma to obviously here in Thailand. There's traces of similarities, but then again, many are different. Obviously, within nations, within cities, they look more alike because they're right on top of one another. But a lot of theories or a lot of, I guess, worshiping has changed, right, within the religions over the many years, over the millenniums.
I'm not sure what you're saying. I mean, yeah, they all they in a way they do and in a way they don't. What can I say? You know,
Yeah, but I mean, you
Buddhism is what's different than Catholic.
right? But did you give much read or much thought to the there's more of the history of Buddhism and where it came from and where it is today, or you were just more interested in the originations of Buddhism.
So I'm mostly interested in what Buddhism is now, today.
Okay,
You know, it doesn't have a God.
right.
And it wants people to make some. They want they want their own position, their own people.
Yeah. Now, what I've really learned to be impressed in general, and especially more with the Thai Buddhism, is how peaceful and loving they are. right? And they don't. There's no thievery. I mean, there's still there's thievery everywhere. There's opportunists, but in general, you're not going to see much crime in cities such as this one, which with a very high Buddhist population. Yeah.
not as much, but I think it's just they don't have they don't have that much to steal.
Well, yeah, they
I
just
don't know.
well, I just they just don't they teach not to. They don't. I don't know whether
I don't know.
yeah, I don't either. I don't think they teach just not to. I just think they teach more to be a good person, right? To care
Yeah,
about to care about others and right and just be, just try to be a good being.
yeah. Well, that's true for all. That's true for a Catholic as well.
Yeah, but then why has the West? Why are our cities sometimes just nightmares from England, Paris? From some of our Western cities. Then
Well, I don't know
do you think it's
what I did.
do you think it's because of capitalism versus socialism? Socialism more in Eastern.
So it's a number of different things that are going on, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, when in capitalism, you put such, using the word reverence again, but when we put such reverence and desire on money, we're always promoting the wealthy. We're always electing the wealthy. We're always right respecting or honoring, putting them on on a pedestal. Right, it can only shape someone's desire to do by any means necessary to get money. Whereas you look at these cultures, they don't the pedestals. Well, certainly the king, yeah, but I mean the pedestals are reserved for the three-headed elephants, and like they don't put such desire on wealth on advertising the wealthy people.
Yeah, well, they didn't do as much capitalism, and that's the thing, where you have to where making money is kind of the that's how you what's the word I put?
Define
That's
that's
how
how
you
yeah that's how we define people in the
yeah
West.
right
Yeah.
right.
Right. Yeah. And again, that's what I just completely didn't get along. I just didn't understand your sister. I didn't understand Carrie's mantra. It was just constantly just money, especially towards the end. It was just money, money. Like money, make money. It was yeah. Versus here, it's like families or you see all the mom. You see all these loving Asian families visiting from all over, and certain, I still think a lot of it's matriarchal. It's still the man, but I mean, it's like, well, who's ever got the money will pay for the dinner, right? Like it's not. They don't perseverate on money as much as what I grew up with and what I was accustomed to in the West.
Well, yeah, it's a different yes
It's
it
a
is
yeah, it's a different outlook. It's a different philosophy on life and money, and yeah,
yeah
and life. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like any other nation. It's still based on money, but it's not that. Like every minute of every day. Like, how am I going to make money? It's just it's more of an enjoyment. It's more of an enjoyment to live here,
yeah
right? To just enjoy life and right, not have those stressors that we in the West. We're always just dominate dominatingly thinking as an adverb, thinking about money, right? Like all the time. Um, yeah. I'll tell you one thing though. God, the GOP. Here they won, they or the elections are well and away over, Jay, and they still email every day. They email about donations, basically begging for more money. I mean, it's like these politicians and these groups. It's that's all there is. It's all it is. It's just money, power. Especially in the West, it's one begets the other, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, well, I think to a degree that both sides are like. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah. Oh
takes
no.
money to.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, here, but see, it's yeah. I agree. Oh, I mean, the king here is one of the richest in the world. I mean, he's on yeah, for sure. However, I just don't think they. Well, it's that well, especially the wealthy politicians here, the Asian politicians, they don't advertise how wealthy they are, as opposed to Trump. That's a selling point because he knows, right, that capitalism. He knows that everybody wants to be rich in America, wants to be like him, right? So he uses it as a selling point, whereas these non-elective nations, they don't, because they don't want the people to become jealous of the higher ups, right?
I guess
Yeah.
to a degree, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the East, if everyone was in a what's the word I'm for? They were in a caste.
Right.
So if you were low, you stayed low pretty much.
Yeah, and your whole family. That's interesting. I don't know if they're trying to shake out of it, but I know it's still an understated or undersaid thing, right? There's the wealthy and then the poor, and you're hard pressed to ever get out of that. That's kind of
Yes.
yeah, that's kind of depressing unto itself, right? Like if you're born into a group, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, fuck, even my kids and my kids' can't get out of this caste system, right? Like it's but yeah, I mean, we all have problems, but again, I'd wish you'd come over here. It's the life is just it's just easy. It's just more easy. It's like every day, it's in the States. For as long as I can remember working, it was always how to get more. Every day at work is basically, unless you work for the government like Louis, where they don't give a shit. You just have to show up. But in every other profession, whether you're a lawyer, it's how can I make more money, right? I mean, it's like Cliff in the stockbrokering. It's like how do you make more money that day, that minute, that hour, that It's like I don't find that's the
Well, I just first of all, I just disagree with Johnny.
yeah.
He, he loved to, he loved life. So
Who's that? My father or Louis? Your father?
yeah, yeah.
No, which one? My dad or your dad, Jay?
Your dad.
Yeah.
He loved going to the
Yeah,
Niagara.
yeah. Cliff was. I'm more like my. He loved making. I mean, he worked to live, right? If we can agree on those two, right? You either live to work, or you like Louis, your father, just liked to go to work, or do whatever he did. Yeah.
It's not altogether true. I mean, it's not true. He lived his life.
Oh well, he
But
definitely yeah he definitely took advantage of the long city hall vacation days. That's for sure. I mean, Louis would take off two months,
that was
yeah, 2 months a year and spend it down in
all
Florida.
into his older age.
Yeah,
So, so
yeah. So yeah, not much new to report. I'm in a different hotel near my school, and then I'm going to move. The next concern or worry is getting my visa extended, so you can do that for another month here. And then next month, I just put a deposit down to move into, an apartment, a studio-like apartment. They're all basically studios. I mean, you have the windows open all day. The weather never changes here. It's great. Um, so I'm just relaxing and working hard. I'm off tomorrow. I'll try to maybe ring you tomorrow if I feel good, and then that's it. Unfortunately, it's just like I'm just waiting for your sister to, that last wheel to come off, and then I'll have to come back or, see whatever's left or what have you, and try to pick up the pieces. And at that time, if I'm gonna move stateside, maybe I don't know. It's again, I wouldn't mind trying to get a teacher pension or some kind of pension in the states. Um, but again, every year you get older, it's harder to catch on and then put in that time. So, but yeah, we'll see. So, the only problem, obviously, with getting a little sick now, but we're right by the airport, JB. So you have, it's like it's like living near O'Hare. Well, you don't seem to get it at your hospital, but I mean, it's like living right under O'Hare with the planes just zooming by every other hour. But it's a popular place to come visit, that's for sure. So, all right, man, how you eating? I always ask you. You're eating all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Did you
Everything's fine.
have you ordered anything from Grubhub recently or no?
Not really, because I don't eat much anymore. So I just eat what I give it.
Yeah, yeah,
Once in a while I will, but mostly I
yeah.
just don't eat it.
I've asked you this though. I never really saw you eat much Mexican food, but do you like Mexican food?
Oh, I love Mexican
Oh,
food.
I didn't know. I don't think I've ever sat with you when you had Mexican before, but yeah. Well, they've got that Chipotle. Do you eat that Chipotle?
Um,
Well, that's a big meal,
not,
big burrito.
not
Yeah,
that, not that, yeah. I
yeah,
love the
yeah.
beans and the rest,
Right.
whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So
All right, man. Well, I'll try to ring you. I'll try to ring you again tomorrow. I'm off around this same time. All right.
sounds great.
All
I'll
right.
see
Love
you.
you. Oh yeah. All right. Love you, JB. I gotta get ready for work here. All right. Love you, man. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye.